Okay, we're going to talk about knits for the Hello Tank by Schwin Designs and how to test different knits for the neck band so that you get the perfect fit every single time. Determining the right band length can be the hardest part of the process, so first you have to determine the stretch. Here's 10-inch sections. As you can see, this first one has lots of stretch. It's stretching well beyond the 50% point, meaning it's stretching to at least 15 inches. I originally cut it 10 inches. The second one, I can barely stretch it to 15 inches and it starts to curl, so I would want to add length to this in order to work for the fabric. And this third one can stretch to the right to a 15 point, but again it's curling, so it may or may not behave well for the neck band. You can use a ribbing or add length to the band to make these work. To test the band length before you sew it on, since that can be kind of a pain to find out after, you're going to sew one shoulder of the bodice and then kind of lay it flat, open a little bit. Take your band and fold it in half, whether you're doing the band or the binding, this method will work. So fold it in half and then you're going to hold it along the seam allowance, stretching along the curves and then stretching less along the straighter edges. When you get towards this front bodice curve, you're going to want to stretch it a little bit more, but make sure you're not stretching the fabric more than it would want to stretch. If you're finding that you're having to stretch the fabric way too much to make it fit, you're going to need to lengthen the band. And if you're finding you're not stretching the fabric enough, you'll want to shorten the band. As you can see with this one, it's making it right to the end perfectly with the band length in the pattern. So then you'll just go ahead and sew up the other shoulder and follow the instructions to sew it to the neckline. I like to sew my necklines in the round so that all of the seams are nicely inside and enclosed. And as you can see here, we've got a nicely finished neckline where the binding is laying and behaving perfectly. If you find that your neckline isn't, you can always take it off and adjust. Hopefully that's answered any of your questions about sewing the binding or band on the Hello Tank.